Hello, magandang araw na naman mga kababayan, our fellow Filipinos dito sa Amerika, sa Pilipinas, and around the world. Ito na naman ang inyong kaibigan, si Teddy Molina. Welcome back to Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika, which you can access at our channel, o Rodeo TV channel, dito sa YouTube. At nasa kabila naman ang ating kaibigan, ang ating co-host, walang iba kung hindi si Mr. Dan Nino, the President of the Philippine Global Media Group. Take it away, Dan.
Mga kababayan sa California, sa Estados Unidos, sa Pilipinas at sa kabuong mundo, nandirito po ulit kami para maglahad, maghimay-himay ng mga kuro-kuro ng opinyon, hindi lang sa amin kundi mga opinyon ng aming kababayan dito sa Amerika na nakakasubaybay sa atin. Kaya sana'y tangkilikin niyo kami at sana'y tuloy-tuloy ang inyong pagsubaybay sa amin. Bakit, Ted?
Opo, I join my co-host, si Dan, to invite you so hindi pa ng mga kaibigan at mga kababayan na hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, please do us the favor of subscribing to our channel. At paki-share na rin at paki-like na rin. Alright, Dan, katatapos ang second week. Is that the second week?
Third week.
Third week ng ating nagaganap na impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa Pilipinas in the halls of the Philippine Senate. At ang naging witness nila ay walang iba kung hindi si NBI Director Melvin, who took the stand for 2 days, right?
Yes.
Under the tough scrutiny of the senator judges, especially Alan Peter Cayetano. So, anong take mo dyan?
Alam mo, itong dalawang magkapatid na Cayetano, si Pia sa si Alan, halatang halata na they are lawyering for the respondent, BP Sara, kasi sila nakipagdebate sa mga prosecutors instead na i-cross-examine ng mabuti yung test ng witnesses. Sila ang nakikipag-debate at ang haba-haba. Kaya pasan naboborda yung mga nakikinig o nanonood dahil it's very torrid or masyadong matindi ang kanilang pagdidepensa. Ang senator judges, Ted, kailangan medyo impartial, pakinggan nila yung appearances or ang mga manifestations ng defense at saka sa prosecution. Pero nangyayari, sila nagiging abogado tuloy. Isa rin itong si Ruben Padilla, nakikipag-debate na rin at sabi niya na kailangan hindi one-sided ang mga sinasabi ng prosecution, sabi niya. Pero siyempre obvious, Ted, na if you are part of the prosecution, you should really defend your clients. And also if you're on the side of the defense, you should also be defending your clients. Kaya wag magtataka si Ruben Padilla na ganoon ang asta or ang mga manifestations or examinations ng mga magkabilang panig. Hindi siya magtataka. Dapat
Sa tingin ko Dan, ay, ah, Robin has not, Senator Padilla has not been consulting so much with his legal staff.
Yeah, right.
Mukhang he's so overwhelmed by his, uh, if you can call it, loyalty.
Mhm.
I think in his previous interviews, he was saying something like he's very loyal to the Dutertes, right?
Right.
Especially the former President Rodrigo Duterte. In fact, he's the only senator who visited him there.
Mhm.
Di ba? Siya lang. Sa pagkakalam ko, not even Bongo. Or
Yeah.
even Senator Bato de la Rosa before he was served a warrant of arrest by the NBI. Siya lang. And he was saying he has his loyalty belongs to President Duterte. And so now with also with Vice President Duterte. Kaya I think he was so overwhelmed by that kind of loyalty and you know association with the Dutertes. Maybe he could have consulted with his lawyers, legal staff, before asking questions. But in the middle of his performance, quote and unquote, ay nakalimutan yung, yung, yung advice ng kanyang legal staff. So, uh, uh, napipilitan siyang mag-emote from
Uh-huh.
what he thinks should be done out of his, as I said, loyalty with the Dutertes. Kaya, dalawang blunder niya.
Uh,
Last week, the previous week, and and last week.
right.
You remember yung blunder niya noon kay when he took the and when he asked regional director Jeremy Loto
Yes.
kung meron siyang qualification. That's how I look at it. Parang sinasabi niya, he should know the Muslim culture bago siya ma-assign doon sa BARM as a regional director. He was just trying to say that he is not qualified to go there because he does not know the Muslim culture. Kaya Paul yun. So
Yeah.
that's a blunder. And then last week, ito kay sino ang kanyang pinagtanungan last week?
Oh.
Ay
Si
si Congresswoman Luis
Jinkle Luistro.
and and tinanong niya kung bakit one-sided ang prosecution. Yes, as you were saying.
Alam mo kaya may
Kaya
tawag
alam ko,
sila diyan.
kaya ah,
May
alam ko, sino ang prosecution na hindi one-sided? Kaya nga may prosecution dahil sila, ah, yung prosecution kaya nung siya ay inakusahan ng, nung nakulong siya, hindi kaya one-sided din against him? Yung prosecution kaya siya nakulong? Because the
kaya
prosecution is there to prove their point.
correct.
Hinahabol ka dahil meron kang krimen allegedly na ginawa. Kaya dapat sila ay one-sided. Di ba?
Kaya ang tawag doon ngayon, Ted, is ang tawag doon, Ted, is off tangent or sablay. Sablay ang tawag nila dahil hindi siya nag-isip, walang logic yung kanyang sinasabi. Kaya napagtatawanan siya tuloy. Sablay ang tawag nila dyan, Ted.
Marami nga nagtatawa dito sa Bay Area, sa lugar ko.
Oh,
Na mga kapwa Pilipino, nung napanood nila yung pagtatanong ni
Robin
Senator Padilla,
Padilla.
kaya bakit daw may mga senador na kagaya ni Robin Padilla, bakit gusto nating ilagay na sa Senado kung hindi naman sila karapat-dapat na pupunta sa Senado? Kaya maraming nagtatawa tuloy dito ng kapwa natin
Oh,
Pilipino sa naging performance, quote and unquote,
yeah.
ni Senator Robin Padilla dahil sa mga blunders niya. hindi daw siya karapat-dapat nang uupo sa Senado. That,
Wala. Wala dahil alam mo naman Ted, dinadala sa popularity Ted, kaya hindi natin kasalanan ng mga botante sa Pilipinas Ted. Kung ganoon ang mga subline na sinasabi ni Robin Hood Padilla. At saka kahit na ganoon din, pati itong mga dalawang si magkapatid na Cayetano rin, parang because of their loyalty to the Dutertes, right or wrong, maka Duterte pa rin sila. But you have to study the probable cause and the testimonies and the evidence. Kasi sila, right or wrong, sila pa rin ang they favor or doon sila kumakampi sa mga Duterte. Di ba? That, inilahad nga ni NBA director na may pattern of violence itong mga Duterte, di ba? Una, inalabas sa video na binugbog yung sheriff na nag-issue ng patigilan yung restraining order when BP Sara was mayor of Davao. Pinagbubuntal niya, okay? And then, pangalawa, nag-issue na naman si kapatid niya na si sino ang pangalan ng kapatid niya? Si Baste Duterte, yung mayor ng
Mayor,
Davao, na ang isa lang ang kanyang hiling, pugutan ng ulo, yung ulo ni
yeah.
BBM. At siniko naman, pangatlo, si BP Sara, nagpahayag na kailangan pugutin din ng ulo si BBM, siyang unang nagpahayag. At saka mayroon pa, pati yung ama nila na pag lumaban, barilin niyo, patayin ninyo, sabi ni tatil lang si Digong Duterte. At saka hindi lang yun din, sa testimony na alam na lahat, si Arturo Las Cañas na kung para mawala yan, kidnapin na lang ninyo. At may iba nga, sa Loud Quarry sa Davao City, doon nila dinadala yung kanilang mga biktima. So, may pattern of violence, Ted.
Parang yun ang inimbestigahan noon ni Kwan, yung so-called Loud Quarry na allegedly doon nililibing yung mga nakikidnap
victims,
na alleged shabu
mga drugs
dealers.
Users.
Pero hindi niya yata natuloy yun dahil nag-change ng administration. You remember?
Right.
Nung Secretary of Justice siya. At siya nagpunta doon to investigate the alleged quarry na Laod quarry na binanggit mo. At it looks like when President Duterte took over the reins of government from the late Noynoy Aquino, saka naman niya pinakulong si De Lima, who was then senator, di ba? Kaya yung so-called Laod Quarry came first into the national attention during the time of De Lima as Justice Secretary. Oh, by the way, yung tungkol sa pagbugbog sa sheriff, I think he was implementing a demolition order.
Yeah.
Na against informal settlers.
Yeah. Correct.
Property. And that is where and then Mayor Sara Duterte confronted him and kagaya ng binanggit mo na video ay nakita natin lahat na he threw a punch on the face of the sheriff, di ba? And allegedly she was trying to ask for a
reprieve or
for the sheriff to postpone the demolition. Pero parang ayaw pumayag yung sheriff. So that led to the punching incident. Alright,
Ibang
so
nasabi ko kanina, di ba? Sabi ko kanina, restraining order, yung pala, he
demolition
was
order.
about to implement the demolition
Demolition order.
order,
Yeah.
pero pinigilan ni Sara nga pala kanina.
So you think ang testimony ni Director Matibag ay convincing enough at
I,
anong
I believe so,
anong score
Ted.
mo? Anong score mo?
99.9, Ted.
Masyadong malaki pare. Doon
Because
sa
meron silang, it was confirmed by this cyber security ng NBI. It was confirmed by the videos. It was confirmed by the testimony and all the records. At nakita naman ng mga tao ng madla yung kung yun, alam na ng tao kahit na they try to prevent the showing or they want to hide. Pa naman, it's very obvious naman, Ted. So how can you hide it?
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So
it won't alter the facts.
panalo ang prosecution. Tingin
So
mo?
nakikita ko, Ted, I'm not pro BBM or anti Duterte, but the testimonies, the videos, the witnesses are showing that they're telling the truth. So wag nang magtaka ang tao. It won't alter the fact that gustong ipapatay si BBM at of course when it reaches the NBI, they have to investigate it. At
Teka
right
muna.
now, they are trying to locate who is the mastermind o kung sinong pinagsabihan ni BP Sara. Kaya ang lumalabas ngayon, baka isa sa mga kanyang security details or
Teka muna, there was an interesting part na gusto kong mag-comment ka tungkol sa naging debate ni na Alan Peter Cayetano and Congressman
joke, no?
Shell Jokno. So, what's your comment on that? Medyo
Okay,
mahaba yung kanilang argument eh.
tama, mahaba. Kaya nagalit tuloy si Sherwin Tulfo, Senator Sherwin
Can
Tulfo.
you comment
Kasi,
on that? Can you comment on that? Sinong nanalo doon?
kasi ang argument ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is that ang kanyang iginigit doon is ang prosecution daw ay gumagawa ng fishing expedition. Kasi ang kanyang punto doon is hindi pa nailalabas yung AMLAC, yung record ng kanyang mga deposit sa bangko, kasi hindi pa nabubuksan nga eh. Kasi kaya gusto nilang pero may probable cause dahil kailangan
Exactly.
sa trial mismo ilalabas yung na yon, yung box na yon.
Ganda. Yun napansin kong magandang explanation ni Shell Jokno. It's not a fishing expedition kasi ang sabi niya, kung fishing expedition ito, ay we are starting from scratch. We are starting from zero. Sabi niya, kaming nasa prosecution. Pero hindi naman, Your Honor, sabi niya. Kasi meron kaming testimony ng AMLAC director.
Right.
6.7 billion.
Uh-huh.
So that was enough to establish probable cause.
Correct.
Kasi doon sa level namin sa house, na-establish na namin na mayroong probable cause. Kaya we were not starting from zero when we filed the impeachment case dito sa Senado. At hindi na kailangan pang sabihin ninyo na nagpipishing expedition kami, sabi niya. Anong naging sagot niya? Mukhang hindi niya nasagot. Tapos, kasi hindi naman sila, paano fishing expedition kung meron na silang basis?
Yeah.
That is why they wanted the Senate impeachment trial court to subpoena the documents ng financial records niya ni BP Sara sa bangko.
Uh-huh.
Dahil meron ng nagpag-umpisahan na ebidensya na nagather nila from the AMLAC director amounting to 6.7 billion.
Yeah.
Mukhang hindi niya nasagot yun, di ba?
Yeah,
So,
hindi niya.
mukhang ang
Pero,
kanyang mukhang ang kanyang sinabi, napansin ko, let's move on to my next question. So in other words, hindi niya na-rebut.
right.
Ano sa tingin mo?
Ay, kasi ang ko naman, ang punto ni Alan Peter Cayetano is that yung mga pera niya noon, nung siguro vice mayor siya o mayor na siya, kung marami man o vice president, na i-deposit niya sa, halimbawa, uh, sa stocks or sa timeshare or sa timeshare. So magkakaroon ng interest. So yung interest siyempre lalaki na
Accumulate,
lalaki.
sabi niya.
Oo. So
Pero that is speculation, pare. Speculation niya yun eh. So,
objection, speculation.
yeah. So, ang abangan na lang natin kung anong sinasabi ng bank records niya, di ba?
Correct.
Kung yung bank records niya will match yung revelation ng AMLAC, di ba? 6.7 billion
Yeah.
transactions na flinag that they were flagged by AMLAC. So, abangan natin kasi ang susunod na itatakal niyang ng impeachment court ngayon ay yung financial transactions,
Yeah.
unexplained wealth and confidential funds, di ba?
Yung
So dito lalabas ngayon dahil nabigyan na ng sumpina ng Senado the production of these documents, di ba? From the banks, from AMLAC, and from the BIR. So,
yung
ito ang abangan natin ngayon, mga kababayan. Kung
they will
tama
tackle
yung
probably the unexplained wealth
testimony ng
and
AMLAC
graft and corruption.
director. What?
Unexplained wealth and
Yes.
graft and corruption.
Unexplained wealth and graft and corruption. Iyan ngayon itatakal nila. Pero ang decision ng Senate Impeachment Court ay pabuksan, di ba?
Yeah.
So, mangyayari na ngayon yan. Mabubuksan na.
May majority, no? May majority.
Yeah, kasi ang motion to issue subpoena sa mga financial records ay this motion was approved by the Senate, di ba? You remember?
Oh.
Yeah, it was approved.
Yeah.
Virtually
Yeah.
because there was no opposition. Nung naglabas ng ruling si Senate Presiding Officer, Senate Impeachment Presiding Officer, Escudero, na binasa niya yung ruling na there was no objection. So it was carried. And I think this was discussed before he issued the ruling among the senators. You know, mas marami ang majority. Walang magagawa si yung Cayetano Black. Walo lang sila actually. Hindi
correct.
walo. Dahil nabawasan na naman ng isa, di ba? In the person of Marcoleta.
Kaya wala magagawa kung ruling of the chair at saka ruling of the majority, wala sila magagawa.
And there was a precedent already, as you said, in the case of the impeachment cases of Erap Estrada and Chief Justice Corona, di ba?
Right.
Their bank records were also open.
Right.
Other financial records. Kaya yung incumbent impeachment court had no recourse.
Yeah.
But the court to do likewise. As we predicted, maalala mo, yung previous vlog natin before nag-issue ng ruling si Senator Escudero for the opening of for the approval of the subpoena, of the motion of subpoena, tumama ang ating prediction. Dahil nga, there is a precedent already in previous impeachment cases and they cannot go against that.
Correct.
At yung sinabi mo rin na mas marami ang majority block in the Senate. So, kaya lumabas yung ruling ng impeachment court through the Senate presiding officer.
Correct.
Impeachment court presiding officer, Chief Escudero, di ba? All right, let's move on to Ah, our next topic, pare.
Mhm.
So, sinabi mo kanina, the next article, impeachment article to be tackled ay yung graft and corruption. And
Yeah. Ito yung kwan, yung itong next,
yung
itong
confidential
mga
funds.
unexplained wealth, ang graft ng corruption, saka misuse of confidential funds, mga ganun.
Yun.
Itong susunod. At saka
Anak,
bribery.
oh, I'm sorry. Ang ibig kong sabihin, pare, dito i-represent si Madriaga, si Ramil Madriaga.
Oh,
I
pwede.
think he was listed as a witness of the prosecution, di ba? Abangan natin yan.
Abangan natin.
He
Yeah.
is the same guy na nagsabi na yung confidential fund ni Vice President Estrada, Vice President
Sarah.
Duterte, in the amount of, teka, nandito ang record ko, 125 million
Mhm.
confidential funds ni Vice President Sara sa Office of the Vice President.
Mhm.
125 million confidential funds. Hindi 11 days as previously reported na
Right.
na-distribute yun. 24 hours pala, Dan. In 20, less than, hindi lang 24 hours. In less
Right.
than 24 hours, sabi ni
Mhm.
Mr. Madriaga during his testimony sa House Committee on Justice. You remember?
Right.
He was the bagman who caused the distribution of this money in less than 24 hours. So,
Yeah.
abangan natin yan.
Of course.
Magandang panoorin yan, mga kababayan, at huwag kayong mawawala. Alam nyo, kami dito sa Amerika, we stay up to late hours as 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning watching the impeachment
Proceedings.
trial in the Philippines kasi, magkaibang time zone natin. So, si Dan at si Mrs. Nino, parehas din kami ng Mrs. ko dito sa San Francisco.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Kaya abangan natin yan.
Uh-huh.
At titingnan natin how the defense will
React.
do their act. Kasi that's a tough act pa rin, how to, they can cross-examine. Ramil Madriaga, tingnan natin. And magandang abangan yan. Of course, hindi lang yon. Dahil it looks like hindi lang yan parteng yan kasi ang total amount involved sa confidential funds in both the office of the Vice President and sa office of the DepEd Secretary. You remember, VP Sara was DepEd Secretary at the same time. 500 million confidential funds sa office of the Vice President.
Right.
And 112.5 million confidential funds sa office of the Department of Education Secretary, who happened also to be VP Sara. So,
Yeah.
that's 612.5 million
Right.
in total. On top of that, 6.7 billion yung flagged financial transactions, pinag ng MRC, di ba? Kaya doon, abangan din natin yon, yung mga testimonies ng bank executives, di ba?
Right.
All right, Dan. So, that's it. That's it so far. Ang expect natin na abangan sa susunod na uh, convening of the impeachment trial. Of the
And not
impeachment
only that, Ted, we look forward to the SONA. I think
yes,
next Monday.
Monday, yeah. July, yeah. This Monday.
This Monday.
That's July 29 or?
July 27.
You sure?
Sunday dito sa Amerika.
Oo nga, but sa Pilipinas.
Oh, Sunday rito, July 26, and it's July
27 sa
27 doon.
Pilipinas. July 27 sa Pilipinas.
Right.
Alright, so abangan na. So, mga kabayan, marami pa sana kaming itatakil ni Dan, kaya lang time is running out dahil marami rin kaming mga commitments pa. So, magpapaalam na muna kami mga kaibigan. At sana'y tangkiligan ninyo ang programa namin ito at para mai-echo naman namin ang sentimiento ng inyong mga kapwa Pilipino dito sa Amerika, lalo na dito sa California. At ah, we hope na sa inyong mga hindi pa nag-subscribe sa amin, ulitin namin ang aming pakiusap. Please consider to subscribe at pakishare na rin at pakilike ang aming podcast, Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika. Okay, Dan?
Okay? Mga kababayan sa buong mundo, kami uli ay nagpapaalam ng pansamantala at kami uli babalik. At sana wag ho kayo magsawa na kami maglahad dahil ang aming damdamin ay nandyan pa rin sa Pilipinas, na kahit na nandito na kami sa Amerika, kami pa rin ay nakiki-isa dyan. Ang aming damdamin ay nasa Pilipinas dahil mahal pa rin namin ang aming bayang Pilipinas dahil diyan kami pinanganak. Kaya wag kayo, sana kayong magsawa sa pagsubaybay sa aming Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika.
Okay po, at magpapaalam na po kami at we hope to see you in our next podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.